Hey guys, Brandon Sherman Brown, physical therapist, CrossFit coach, and wellness coach. Get your fixed physical therapy. So still continuing on the plantar fascia and foot pain, we discussed the anatomy, we discussed how different areas with the weakness in your foot can cause the pain. Now we're going to go over how to calm it down. So kind of what we like to say as therapists a lot is we calm it down, then we build it back up. So today we're going to talk about calming it down. Tomorrow we'll talk about building it back up. So as far as calming it down, I have my two best friends, my foam roll and my lacrosse ball. Primarily the lacrosse ball is what I use for a lot of, especially the lower leg stuff, but use a foam roller for a little bit. So essentially you can work up the entire leg with to loosen things up. I'm going to focus primarily on the foot and the lower leg though for you guys. So with the lacrosse ball, several areas to work with this. First one is the bottom of the foot. You can stand or you can just sit, kind of kneel on it like this, but basically you're just going to really work that bottom of the foot area. Just kind of going back and forth. If you find an area that's really overly tight, you can kind of just focus on that area and oscillate it there. But basically just working that whole bottom of the foot area, really loosening it up. Underlying that plantar fascia, if you remember from the anatomy, and she's making an appearance again. If you remember from the anatomy that we did, there's a lot of muscles that underlie that plantar fascia. And so this is really good for getting all of those kind of the stickiness that's in those areas broken up and loosened up. Also, it's really good to do to start waking up the feet. Just by doing that after you've been wearing shoes all day before you actually do a workout or go for a run, it can really help to turn those muscles on in there. So that's the bottom of the foot. Now, right on the inside, this area here can get pretty flared up as well. If you feel up just inside that bone area, you can feel some pretty good tightness a lot of times. So still using that lacrosse ball, you can just go up and down and kind of really dig in that area. Same thing, find that area that's most tender and kind of just focus on that area. And you can just go up and down the tissues that way. You can do the same thing by going on the outside of the foot, just putting it on the floor. So putting it on the floor that way. And then you can go up and down that way as well. So if you remember from the anatomy the other day as well, there's muscles that come down the side of the leg here and go down into the foot. So those, especially if you are someone who has a pronation problem, this is actually really good for calming that down. So up and down there. For getting to the calf itself, it's a little bit bigger of a muscle group. So I like to switch away from that and use more of the foam roller. Or if I'm at the gym, I'll sometimes use a barbell as well for this. No regret. She says hi again. So with the foam roller, you're going to put your other leg on top just to add a little bit of pressure. And you can just roll forward and backward on there. You can kind of turn your foot, angle your foot inward or angle your foot outward and focus on some of that outside or inside part of that calf a little bit as well. So wherever you feel the tightest, same thing, you're just going to focus on that area. So you have those three different ones you can do, or the three different areas with the lacrosse ball, or the area with the foam roller for anywhere knee and below is what for that. So try those out, see how those go for you. If you're experiencing any areas of specific tightness, that should work out really well. Excuse me. As usual, if you have any questions or comments, definitely post those on here below if you're watching this later, or feel free to reach out to me directly. I'd be happy to touch base with you if you have any questions. So, like I said, tomorrow we will be touching base on, I'm going to go over strengthening the area. So today we calm it down, tomorrow we build it back up with strengthening. So hope you have a good rest of your Sunday, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.